Good morning. Hello. Boom. Welcome to another Sunday morning on the project. And look behind me there, look. Our community funded by the lottery. Chit chat that we have every Sunday. We've got loads to talk about today. And obviously, a lot of it today is football based. But of course, we're happy to talk about absolutely anything. And we've got four with us at the moment, I think. We've got Dave, who's on my. It's like, what's it this week, isn't it? Celebrity Squares. That's what it looks like for me because I'm sitting above Dave. I've got Sean next to me, Pete underneath.
Is it?
So
It's like Jesus and his disciples, isn't it?
I don't know
Oh,
which one's. Listen, mate, I've been described as Hitler lately. I've been described as Jesus. That's a
if
new
this
one
was
on
if
me.
this was if this was Jesus and his disciples, Christianity wouldn't have got anywhere, would it really?
Well, I don't know, might have done all right.
It's
So,
hard to find three wise men, isn't it?
well, yeah.
We'll say that.
Trying to get me lighting right, so it don't show too much of me. Oh, that'll do. Um, so yesterday, initial thoughts.
On the Zoom
What do you
meeting
think?
with the lads. I thought we played well, to be totally honest with you. And I thought we was just a bit sloppy giving away the goal. And then we was just trying to claw back. I thought we started pretty well.
Yeah, Pete, you were
I,
there, mate, weren't you?
yeah, I think Swansea are an actual very good side to watch. I've said before, I've always liked that centre forward, that Vipotnik.
Potnik.
Yeah, like I say, I called him a flipping poor man's Mitrovic, but I think you get what I mean, don't you?
Well, he's a
Uh,
poor man's Josh Sargent, really, but I don't think he is. He's a very good player. I think there's a lot of people interested in him. When he played us against us at St Andrews, it caused us a lot of problems, and I think we could see yesterday the ability that he's got. And he took his goal well, didn't he?
yeah,
He's just one of them. He's a big lad. He's mobile. He can play several roles. He can use his head. He can use his feet. He's strong, just the
and
sort you want.
the one thing that stood out for me though about them, you see what I mean, like there's so many sort of like Korean stroke Japanese players in the league at the moment, isn't there?
Mm.
And they all seem bloody good. They had a good one yesterday.
Eon.
Um, the way they press those Swansea, very impressive press, if you get what I mean. Is the fact that once they've won the ball back, they carry the ball, don't they? Whereas
Mm.
when we win possession, we're looking to pass the ball.
Yeah, it's a different way of pressing, and the guy that they've got there was with uh what's his name at Liverpool? Not Schlopp, the other one, Jurgen Klopp. He was the
Yeah,
assistant to Klopp, and then he went with Klopp's assistant somewhere when he left. So he's got sort of the Liverpool background, a bit like Chris Davis had the Spurs background and the Swansea background. And the way they press is they press fairly aggressively, but it's like you say, Pete, they carry the ball, but they don't press the way we press. They're not as aggressive as us. So they squeeze up and press. And what happens is, and what happened to us yesterday, I think for the first 20 minutes, we were crowded out. We didn't, until we sorted out the way they were playing against us, I think it didn't give us any room in midfield. And that changed as the game went on. I think we sussed it out a bit. Doyle got a little bit more room. I think Wagner didn't start very well. I think you've got to give the lad a little bit of time. He's an American and that, but really the goal was his fault. Honestly, I'm being honest, I think it was. He got done really by a player that's just, you know, that ball out to the right. It was simple, really. Wagner committed himself. The wing, what's his name? What's his name? Uh, Not Franco, is it? But something like that. Put his foot on the ball, and then Wagner just went past him. The
yeah.
whole of the right flank opened up then, and then that was it because someone's got to come across and cover. I think Neumann was I thought he was a bit slow getting anywhere near Vopatnik. And one of the things I hate to see in pro football is a centre half chasing the centre forward into the goal when he scores. So, in other words, the centre half is behind him, nowhere near being in front of him. And Neumann was following him into the goal. And you should never see that. You should never see that.
Yeah.
So I think that first goal was just a bit of a calamity of errors, really, and we did, and definitely Vopatnik took it well, but that's what his job is.
But the thing is, I mean, with Swansea, you'll all, if you've got a bit about they'll always give chances up, won't they?
Yeah, they're not brilliant at the back.
You have to say, for me, that the turning point for that game was Beadle's save. We're 1-0 down. They've had another breakaway, and he's managed to put this one onto the bar. Absolutely brilliant save. He's kept it up. The heads are still in the game. Do you know what I mean?
It was a world-class save, really. I mean, probably not a term you want to use, but it was a really, really quality save. And the thing that I hate about that is, listen, Kyogo hasn't scored for months, has he? He scored last weekend, and it's everywhere, isn't it? Beagle gets slated every single week. He makes a class save like that, and there's about 4 comments on the whole of social media about it. It's an absolute joke. But he had a good game, and I'll tell you what I noticed about Beadle yesterday. He looks a lot more confident now. He's starting to take the ball out of the air instead of always punching it. And he did that a couple of times yesterday. There was one really high looping ball that I don't know if you remember it. It was they were kicking into not the Blues end, the other end. The ball went really high and like towards the far post, and he just went really high with it, caught it, and brought it down. Just looked really good yesterday. I thought.
I thought the Clara was trying to cover for Wagner, and you could see him looking back at Newman, kind of thing, saying like, "I'm going to try and cover for him. Make sure you've got him." If you look at it, I only watch it on TV. I watched it again this morning. You can see Clara looking back at Newman.
Yeah,
as they make sure you stay with your man. I'll cover this off.
What happens there, Sean? The problem with this, and this is why I don't like Clara and Neumann playing together, because Clara's a right-sided centre half. He's not a left-sided centre half. So is Neumann a right-sided centre half. So straight away, and you always see it with Clara when he's covering Cochrane if he goes forward, or Wagner if he goes forward, that he doesn't look comfortable tackling on the left. Clara doesn't. He'll go out to the player like he did. But like you say, he doesn't trust Neumann 100%.
No,
he's looking behind him to see if he's following him. He's looking at the player going down the right wing. He needs to go out and try and cut him off. And he's sort of caught in 2 minds in a way. That's why we're so much better with Phil Robinson on the left, I think, and Clara on the right. Clara's a right-sided centre half, and he likes to bring the ball out, and he plays the ball out on his right side. He tackles on his right side. It's just, and we didn't have that luxury yesterday to be able to play left-sided centre half because Robinson was injured and the other lad's gone back to Brighton. So we didn't have much choice, but it does disjoint us a bit, I think. Until we get that settled back 4, I don't think we're going to properly look right.
We're getting some injuries, aren't we? We're getting a lot of injuries, I think. It's every week. There's 2 or 3 players out there for some reason.
Yeah, we have got a lot of injuries. I think you tend to get that when you get a lot of athletic and quick players because hamstrings are always a problem. Timmy's got a hamstring, Laird has got a hamstring and calf. Cochrane's got a all these players that have explosive runs, they're always prone to hamstrings. And you hear the usual crap. Oh, what they're doing on the training ground, they're doing this with them. Listen, the club is full of sports scientists and doctors. They don't risk multi-million-pound assets. Like it ain't like it was 50 years ago.
Well, Steve, obviously, you're more tactically aware than me, obviously. But I think a lot of when you get Clara and Newman playing together as well, a lot of this sort of like moaning that people have about, oh, well, yeah, sidewards and backwards stuff, that it comes from that neither of them will look to play the ball forward quick. They would take the safe option of playing sideways or passing to each other. When you've got Robinson in there, he can look to ping a ball forward a bit.
Yeah, and I think that's also what then you're looking at like a better quality centre half if you want. So most
Yeah.
Premier League centre halves can pass a ball. Uh, Now don't forget, Clara has only had one season in English football, and that was in League One. You can get away with that, you know, like not being able to make a pass. But you can see Robinson buys time when he gets the ball, and I think when he does that, he buys himself time to make a pass. We see Clara do the long cross-field pass right to left when he's playing on the right side of defence, and that often takes defensive by surprise. You know, it goes from the right-hand side right across to Dimmy or whoever's on the left, but he doesn't do that on the right because he's not left-footed. He hasn't. He takes that pass out of his toolkit. He can't make that long cross-field pass anymore.
Yeah.
And Neumann attempts to do it, but Neumann gives the ball away too often. One of our biggest issues yesterday in the first half, we were giving away possession with poor passing or making the passes that Swansea was seeing before our players seen it, and we're cutting the ball out. You know, that we managed to get that right in the second half. In the first half, that was one of the big problems, just giving away possession so easily.
But you know, I mean, you can look at the game and say, oh yeah, well, Swansea's hit the
We've
woodwork,
lost
or
Sean.
it's not
He's
it's
gone.
not woodwork anymore. It's flipping, what is it, aluminium or whatever. They've hit the frame of the goal 3
The Ellie
times.
can hear it, can't you? Boing.
Yeah, we've had 2 really good chances that on another day you'd expect them to go in. You know, I mean, Roberts, the one bloke that you'd love the ball to fall to, lovely
Fell to
little
him
move.
just right, didn't it?
He's put it over the bar, and then little Kyogo, well, one of them,
He had
isn't
2
it?
good chances. I
Yeah.
think the second one was a little bit behind him, so you can't really be too critical of that one. But the first one should have scored.
So I actually think that in the overall thing, Swansea shaded the first half. We, I think a draw was a fair result, really. Of course, you say you ride your luck or whatever. It's fine margins, isn't it? You know, you can say, oh well, yeah, one of theirs that hits the post could have gone in. Yeah, well, one of our efforts could have gone in as well. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
I was more than happy with the point. There was a lot. Kumas, I'd like just to have a little quick word on him now. So obviously that goal against Coventry seems to have done him the world of good a bit, and he knows he's going to get a bit more game time now at least until Dimmy's fit and up to speed now. I thought he put himself about really well. Now a lot of people are saying, yeah, his second touch is always a tackle. Well, to be honest, I'd actually don't mind that as long as he's competing. Now, we always have this thing, don't we, about as Blues fans and everything. We say, as long as the players are giving their all, as long as they're putting a shift in, you're happy with them. Well, some of us are, but obviously some of us aren't. If you're taking social media blues to be listened to, they say, oh well, yeah, he's no. I mean, especially with it being that everyone's still quite raw about the Hoppy and everything as well. Now there was a bloke Hoppy who played with his heart on his sleeve, and I just thought, well, Kumas is doing what a Hoppy would want to.
He's a very similar sort of player.
Someone who would, go and tackle and put a shift in. but yet he gets slated.
Well, I've put a little note here actually to mention that now Beadle is playing so well, you know they haven't really got anyone to moan about, and it seems that Kumas is a new whipping boy, which is a bit stupid really because like we're short a winger at the moment, so Kumas can play on the left flank. Scott Wright's a right-sided winger. He's not a left winger. Kumas can play left or right, and I thought he played well yesterday. And that thing about the second touch, Pete, I don't know if people noticed, but it was the same with Roberts. Roberts always had two players on him, if not three. And Kumas was the same. Now, Roberts and Kumas are different players. Roberts, as I pointed out to someone in our group this morning, Roberts is 10 years older than Kumas. Kumas is 19. He's learning his trade. When he gets the ball and his first touch goes past a player, the second touch is the tackle because he's got a second man on him straight away. It's a compliment in a way. He's drawing another player to him. There were times yesterday when Roberts had three men on him. Once you've done the homework, they know that we need those wingers. Kumas yesterday was doubled up on. Roberts was trebled up on sometimes. And it's a compliment to the player in a way. But the other way you can think about this is, right, you don't like Kumas. Liverpool just done us a favour. They've extended his loan from the 15th of January till the end of January to help us out. But you know what? You don't Kumas. Send him back. Who are we going to play on the left wing?
I thought he'd done well yesterday, Kumas.
I do. He had a good game. But people are just saying, Sean, he's going to be the new whipping boy, I think, till Liverpool have him back. If I was Liverpool, I'd take him back now.
Yeah.
I just don't. There's no requirement to have someone to slate all the time. Like give the players encouragement.
But I put it on this morning, Steve. I put it on this morning. I honestly think some of these people that get to the away match don't look at the game. They're just there for the lash and just for the day out because they say things and you're thinking it just don't make any sense. What Beadle had a stinker again.
Sure, I think, but what it is that a lot of people have preconceived ideas about players rather than watch what's in front of them. You know what I mean? They've already made their mind up about Beadle. Oh, he's crap. Get him out. Kumas. Oh well, yeah. I don't fancy him. He's no good. Get him out. And rather than watch what's actually happening from game to game.
It's worse than that piece when you preconceived ideas. Have you seen some of the comments already about John Solis? He's only just bloody arrived. He hasn't even been on the training ground.
What comments have been made about John Solis?
On some other sites, they're saying, well, why the hell have we got him? He's shit.
How would anyone know that unless they watch
exactly? Well, hold on a sec, Steve. And then they're saying the fans from the club that he's come from are glad to see the back of him. Why have we got him? Look at his goal scoring record. He's not a goal scorer. He's a defensive midfielder. And I haven't put any comments back on it because it's not worth it. But I was thinking back to Thursday or Friday when we mentioned his name and Brian Dix had mentioned that he's coming in. Steve Trina's face was like, oh, God, I hope it's true. Steve knows about the guy and said, this is a good signing if we get him. And people are already saying, why the hell have we bloody bought? You haven't even watched him play yet.
I think there's a couple of things. Number one, he's not strictly a defensive mid, Dave. He's like he plays central and he's more defensive minded probably than like a really attacking midfield. It's not like a Roberts, but he's got a lot of energy. And what he is a big lad, and he can impose himself in the middle of our team, which is what we don't have at the moment. Pake and Doyle can pick a pass out. They're good technicians, but this lad is going to bully people. He's big, he's strong, he'll run with the ball, he can pass. He's not a world-class passer, but he can make a pass, that will count. To play in La Liga for 45 La Liga games, which is like the equivalent to the Premier League. La Liga is the second biggest league in the world. He's played 45 games at the age of 22. Now, you know, that isn't good enough. If you're signing, let's say, a Liverpool player who played 45 games for Liverpool in the last 2 years, would you be a bit excited about it? Or would you look at him and try and pick all the faults out of his figures without even seeing him play, you know?
Mhm.
I don't know. But you can't excuse stupid. I mean, you got to wait and see what the ad looks like. And I'll tell you something else as well, right? Now, not 100% sure on this, but I think we might have a striker coming in by Tuesday. So I'm not going to say more than that at the moment, but you know, it's going to be someone that's a physical
Is
striker.
that as? Are you still confident about
The Swede.
um, the left
The
centre
left-sided
half?
centre half. Yeah,
Yeah.
I am. Yeah, but I don't know who it is. But I'm pretty sure we're bringing a left-sided centre half in as well. But don't you know? I mean, I'm just telling you what I think.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Well,
I knew
we don't want
if we
we don't
definite,
want
I would say
rumours.
it.
We don't want rumours. But yeah, I mean, if we got the left centre half and we got a centre forward, then I think we're quids in, aren't we?
I think we're going to get a left-sided centre half, almost definitely. I think it's probably a case, like someone was saying this morning. Why do we always leave it till the last minute? What's happening? It's halfway to the transfer. These transfers include an agent, a player, player's family, selling club, buying club, the bank, transaction itself. How long is it going to be over? How do we make the payments? If it's spread over a certain time, is there this amount of finance? You know what I mean? It's like you don't just get somebody to go, oh, sorry, and like, okay, you're playing Tuesday. It ain't that easy. It doesn't work like that. As I reminded someone this morning in the group, if you think back to August 23 or August 24, probably our best two signings of the transfer window arrived on the last day.
Yeah.
Stansfield and
Crystal.
Iwata.
Yeah.
Can we just have a little talk about the duck though? Because
I've got him down to talk about.
yeah, well, I tell you what, I've always said like that there's two different. He's almost like a Jekyll and Hyde person. At home, he's excellent. Away, it's almost like I said. Well, if Ducks is the answer, then what's the question? But again, yesterday, his layoff for Roberts for the goal, another assist for him there. He's such a clever little
I'm
player.
going to talk about that though in a minute, that layoff. But carry on.
Yeah, he's the obviously the people are still crying out for Blues to get back to Wimbledon style football, have a big bruising centre forward who's going to smash people all around and everything. That's not the way we're set up to play, though, are we? But with these little 1-2s and everything, okay, it's a pain in the arse when they don't come off, but when they do, they're a thing of beauty, man. They really are.
I think there's no doubt about it. I watched Ducks yesterday. I made a point of watching him in the game, and he makes some nice little flicks and touches, but he doesn't impose himself on the game at all. Like the centre halves did look worried by him one little bit. And I have to say, I'll just go back and look at the Roberts goal. Now, right, when he flicked that ball, hang on, who we got in here? Someone's coming in. Let's see who it is. Um, when he made the flick, he sort of half looked over his shoulder. He flicked the ball, I think, without really knowing where Roberts was. And I'll tell you why that is, because Roberts had to retrieve the ball from the
Yeah.
chest of the centre half with his left foot. He brought it down, and then he played two touches with his right foot before scoring. I mean, really, Roberts made that goal himself. You know, I mean, it was a wonderful finish by Roberts, considering as well it was on his right foot. We've got Chris Evans there. How you doing, Chris?
His mic's off.
Chris, put your mic on, mate. Unless if you don't want to speak, that's fine. No problem. Nice to have you here anyway. Thank you. So if you just watch that, run that goal through again. see Robert's involvement. I honestly, and I'm not having a go. I sort of am in a way. 'Cause I don't think Ducks poses himself enough. But hang on a minute. I'm just at work. Okay, no problems, mate. Um, so if you don't think he posts himself on the game enough, I think sometimes the little death flicks they don't all come off, obviously, because I don't always think they're that intentional. And I think if we get this guy that is centre forward, I think we're going to see
I I honestly think about Ducks. I think he thinks quicker than the players around him. I do.
Yeah,
Some of the layoffs and some of the things he does. I'm not talking about the goal yesterday because I agree with
don't
you.
know,
Yeah,
sure.
and I think he does things. I'm thinking people that should be there, and they're not. And it makes him look a bit foolish at times,
See, the other thing with this is, and I mean, you could be right. I mean, you can only see what you see. You can't think what players are thinking or reading. But with like yesterday, he had Kyogo in front of him. He's not really an ideal player for Ducks to play with. Stansfield plays better with him than Kyogo does, and I think we've seen that. Yesterday when Kyogo went off, they work better together. But the difference is, let's take Stansfield, let's take Kyogo and Ducks out of it, right? Would you rather see Stansfield there? Because I would. When Stansfield comes on, the team changes.
Yeah, you could see yesterday that Stansfield had been out for a few games, couldn't you? Because that one where the guy nearly put it in his own net, I'd say 4 weeks ago, Stansfield had put that away.
Well, he was played in by Ducks for that one, wasn't he?
Yeah. But he was just a bit slow pulling his shot off if you watch it again, where he just lost that little tiny bit of sharpness.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Ducks hasn't got that ability to play those balls, because he has, and he does. I just think when he's on tune, when he's on form, he's sometimes almost unplayable, dependent on the opposition. But I think if the opposition are a little bit tasty and a little bit physical, Ducks seems to fade out of the game, and I think that happened yesterday.
Well, I mean, every player's got a strength, haven't they?
Yeah.
He isn't bashing centre halves around. It's almost like you're thinking, well, if we get a more physical type of player, it's almost like horses for courses, isn't it? You're looking at your opposition and picking a team to who you're up against, and almost like Ducks is more suited to the way we play at home than he is when we're under the pump and looking for an outlet away from home.
Yeah, I think the other thing as well, and he was really truthful and honest about it, was he struggled with, playing English football and playing the amount of games and how physical it is. And if you remember, I said it when he first came, and I said the same about Neumann. It's a lot of football for players to play. Sometimes we play 3 games in 7 or 8 days, and players aren't used to doing that in Germany. And it's very physical, isn't it? The Championship, you've got to be strong. You have to be able to get bashed about a bit sometimes. I think, the time will tell, but I think probably Kyogo yesterday, if we get this new lad, then I think Kyogo probably, we're going to see a lot of him, because it will be Duck, Stansfield, and possibly this new player will be 3. Everything will sort of circulate around. Because you have to think about the team then as well, because when we got Solis, what happens to the structure of the team? Who do we drop?
Very, very interesting.
Yeah, after that City yesterday, I thought we'll see much of Chicago. Yeah, you can only keep saying, can't you, that when Kyogo scores, he's going to keep scoring. Patience. Listen, you can't afford to have patience, that much patience. We're halfway through the season. I'm sorry, Sean.
Sorry, Steve. I'm nipping hogging the bloody thing now. Now No, you're on about where this Solis might fit in and whatever. Well, when we've got Ethan back, you've got Iwata then that would be another midfield option as well, haven't I? And I said about with Pake and Tommy is that individually they do a lot of really good stuff, but I don't think they're a pair. Not when if you compare it to how Swansea was and whatever, their midfield seemed to be on sync with each other, didn't they? Whereas we have like when we've got Tommy and Pike in there, they're you can't fault the effort, but they're not in sync with each other. If you see what I mean.
Yeah, I think it's going to be hard. It's two things there, like it's going to be hard for. I mean, Chris just made the point about Doyle, like does Doyle, but I think you have to think about are we going to play, a 4-3-2-1 or a 4-4-2-3-1 like we are now. But that don't really work, I don't think, with Solis, because I mean, we could play him as a defensive mid and put him alongside Pike, and then we could have Doyle a little bit further up. But then you've got to lose one of the three, either winger or the number 10. And it's like when Laird's back, what happens to Iwata?
Nice problem to have now, isn't it, Steve?
Great. I mean, we've got some very, very good footballers, and we don't know, is Solly's going to play on Tuesday or is he going to start on the bench, do you think?
Well, Davies says he looking at him as a number 6, 8, or even an 8. So, you know what I mean? So he's going to be playing, in his eyes, by the sound of that, he's going to be playing more forward.
Yeah, he could be playing like on the right side where, Roberts plays that sort of number 8 role now, although he plays wide right. Roberts often cuts inside, so he's like a number 8. So he couldn't play that role. I'm pretty sure he could, because if you watch the clips of him, he's a bit of a like he gets about the pitch, So I think he could probably do an awful lot there. Solis is a great ball carrier from what I've seen. If he gets the ball up to the winger and forwards, that's Chris that is making it a point by text. He does carry the ball well. Can win the ball and put his foot in. But then, what would your team be, Pete? Without having seen Solis, right? Let's say we got Dimmy back, and let's say we got Ethan Laird back. What would your team be? Without the new left-sided centre back, right? What would your team be?
And there's someone else I've got to throw in now. Just trying to have a quick little talk about him before. I don't know if you've seen any of the Bright's performances for Nigeria.
Yeah.
It's great that he's gone away. He's playing a sort of like a top level international football there. He's been really good, but to be honest, it's almost like walking football. It's not sort of like a hustle bustle championship stuff for 100 mile an hour people flying around at you. But he did look very comfortable playing, and now he's had a few games under his belt. Does he come back into the equation now? Does he?
Where?
That's my thing.
Well, that's it, because I think we've got two teams, haven't we? The way Chris Davis has been playing, I don't particularly like that big change on 60 minutes where 3 players come on, because what I think we do when that happens is we lose our pattern of play and we lose the impetus a little bit. It's almost like watching, we can be in control. We're looking quite good. 60 minutes come, we take Stansfield off, we take a midfielder off, we take a right back off, and we replace them, and suddenly everything looks different, doesn't it? You know, it doesn't look the same. And I know you can't expect players to do that high, hard pressing game for 90 minutes, but I just sort of wish that it would be spread out a little bit more, you know. Yeah, I mean, Chris is making the point that Bright will add something to the squad. Yeah, you know, I mean, I think he's all add to the squad. He was a really, he had a really good time at Fenerbahce, didn't he? You know, and I mean, they're no mugs, so he's not. You know, he looked great against Ipswich, didn't he?
Yeah. I was going to say, you know, I mean, he started well. We're thinking, oh, hang on, this, you know, we got a player here, and then it sort of like fell off. I didn't say fall off a cliff sort of thing, but his form dropped a little bit, and then it was hard to get back in, and then he got an injury and everything. But you know, he's just another name you can add to it. Now, there's a difference why we do the, the shitty jobs that we do, and Chris Davis is a well-paid football manager because he's the one who has to live and die by making these decisions, isn't he? And I
Yeah.
don't, you know, you know, and I'm glad it's him and not me.
Yeah,
I mean,
going back to
people.
Bright, I thought when he first came, first couple of games, I was like you. I thought, bloody hell, he's some player, tough lad, snapping at the heels, meaty, solid. Then just after a couple of 3 games, he just seemed to be chasing
I was
shadows.
shocked that he took Laird's place. I was, to be
Yeah.
honest, because I mean, you know, there ain't many more athletic fullbacks than Ethan Laird. And Laird is made for that like right wing back position. Although we don't play with wing backs, we play with one wing back. And when Laird's fit, we're going to have two players that are very good at playing wide and getting forward. The question for me is there enough there with those two at fullback to be defensively good enough? We've seen Wagner caught out yesterday with a fairly simple move, you know, which left the two centre halves exposed. And I think sometimes Laird can get into that position. He gets so far up the pitch when the long ball comes, we're completely caught out by it, you know. And I think that happened yesterday a few times as well. But I don't know. Yeah, I would have Laird and Wagner all day long. I would have right back and left back because I think they're the two best players that we have in those positions at the moment, only having seen Wagner play 3 times.
Interesting.
He's certainly got energy. That's the main thing, isn't he, Wagner?
Yeah, he's quick. I don't. I think he's probably got parts of the game to learn because I think he was just like yesterday. He was just like I don't know, like he just fell for it, didn't he?
It was
And
just
he said,
naivety, wasn't it? That was.
yeah, really, yeah,
He
committed
sold him.
himself. Yeah, he did, yeah. And I think as well, like when we've got players like Solis and that in front of the back four, then it's an easier way of getting the ball out. Like Pete was talking about, centre halves not carrying the ball. You know, if our centre halves aren't particularly happy carrying the ball, you know, Solis is right in front of you, give him the ball. He can carry it, you know, and that's sort of what we want. And then Doyle, a bit of a craftsman, isn't he? But we've got to lose someone to put Solis in the side. You know, Chris Davies doesn't like dropping Pake. Can we drop Doyle? I don't think so. And then you'd probably have to say we're going to have to lose one of the left or right sided midfielders, aren't we? So it's going to be Dave, it's going to be Roberts, or it's going to be Kumas. So it's probably going to be Kumas, isn't it? So the shape changes a little bit.
Well, you know when you were saying about with his loan, then so you're saying that it's extended until the end of January. So is that giving you thinking that he might be going back at the end of January? I'm only saying that because we'll have, you know, hopefully like Dimmy won't be too far long there. We'll have some more bodies in there that he might be the one who will go back.
Well, Liverpool, the plan was for him to go back on the 15th of January. That's when the
Right.
loan ran out. And Liverpool said they would extend it, but they can only extend it through the window. Liverpool can't say, right, then you've got an open transfer window now till the end of the season, because it don't work like that. Like the EFL decides when it ends. So if Liverpool have been good enough to say, right, you can have him for another 2 weeks, and then we'll decide, then if you want to keep him until the end of the season, then we can talk about it. But for now, it's extended until the end of the window.
Wasn't he here before the window opened?
He came to us in the summer.
Yeah. I don't think it's anything to do with the window then, is it?
Yeah, because he was only loaned for 6 months.
Oh, okay.
I'm back to work now. All right, mate. Thanks, Chris. Nice to have you on board, mate. Thank you. Yeah, that loan period was until the 15th of January, I believe. So they took him. If they want to take, they might be looking at it, from a Liverpool point of view, thinking, what is Kumas getting out of this? Because he's not playing. Well, he has played. How you doing, Clive? He's quiet, isn't he? You pissed?
All right, good morning, everybody.
Morning, Clive.
Morning. What it is, I've had to go, I went for a walk. I'm having an operation on Friday. I had a pre-op on Friday just gone, and the operation gets sorry. And they give me some cream to put on my wound there.
Oh, yeah.
I'll go do it. I've got to put it on every day, so it's a bit numb, a bit pain. So, but I'm there, I'm okay, I'm enjoying it.
All right. Just thought I'd check on you, mate. I thought you was in a drunken stupor.
No. I had a couple. I've got to be careful now. If I'm having this operation next Friday, I can't be going in every Friday on me.
Smelling of apples. No, what we were saying? I forgot now. But oh yeah, Kumas. So what? Liverpool, fair enough. Have another 2 weeks, see what's happening with Jimmy and that. They could have took him back, and they're looking at it thinking he's not getting any game time, but he's suddenly got game time, hasn't he? And he's suddenly scored, and now he's looking like a much better player than he was when we first had him. So I don't know,
Do you think
I think if he stays, he's not going to get the game time.
No. Do you think we've got a chance for in the box position to tie Roberts down, get him signed up?
I think it's again. I'm only saying what I think. Or I think I know. It's more or less a done deal with Roberts.
Mm.
So Roberts, Sunderland are going to forego the 6 month, the 1 year addition that they've got on his contract if they want it. So they can extend his contract by a year from June. So the contract would be June 27 when it runs out. But they're going to not take up the option. The Blues are going to buy him. So it works both ways. So if we leave till June and he becomes a free agent and Sunderland don't take up the option, then he can just go out and go to the highest bidder or whatever suits him. At the moment, he's a Sunderland player. He's playing for us. We're paying his wages. We're in a good position to negotiate with him. We negotiate a fee with Sunderland, and it's all done and dusted in this window. So that would be a neat, nice, easy way of doing it. But as we know, these things don't always happen. But let's hope it does, because he's a great footballer now.
Yeah. Oh, just out of interest, I don't know if to say, this is why I'm having an operation. I've got that's better.
You sure you're sober?
You say that?
Yeah, and it's a screw in it.
That's right. I just swear. That's what came out there.
Jesus.
Oh, come on. And I've got. They're not putting that one back. They've got open up sleeve, and from there to there.
All right.
Peel it back. Clean it up. Put a flap over and stitch it back.
Leave my eggs on there for a bit, Duck.
I was just going to say, Sean, I'm just going to have my breakfast then, like, but I think I'll give it a break. I think Pete's gone.
All right, Sean. All right,
All right, guys.
You're going to be sick,
I'm only having a
Pete.
laugh.
I was bad news about Hoppy, Sean. I know he's a big mate of yours.
I used to go out with him every single night. We had a bit of a do over at the Shelley Farm the other night. I'd come back on holiday off holiday because I've been in Tenerife for the last few days, so that's for a week. So I came back and I went straight up to the Shelley, and the fair play to the pub. They they give everybody a drink, and they had all these pictures up on the television screens. And his two brothers and two sisters come across as well. Stephen and David and Diane and Kath. And it's sad. It's so sad. It's unreal.
Did you see anything of Barry?
I've seen Barry for years, to tell the truth. I was talking to David, and I said I haven't seen David for so many years. I'll see Stephen because I go down the match.
Yeah, I was talking to him to Stephen the other day. He was messaging me well, thanking us actually for when we spoke about Hoppy last Sunday.
Yeah,
he tuned into it. But
it's knocked a lot of people for six. I'll tell you that. There, it's unreal.
Yeah, it's like it's like when you go away, and he's not there following the team. I guess it's like part of the furniture money. But there's a nice few Hoppies yesterday, weren't there? So
yeah. Put it on there today. Yeah. So
I've got to say, I mean, there's a lot of us would be who've actually seen him play. He last played for us in sort of like 1992, didn't he?
Yeah.
A lot of people yesterday wouldn't have actually seen Hoppy the player, but would know him as Hoppy, who used to play for Blues, who was always available to everybody, never turned down, when people were chatting shit to him. He'd always stop and have a photograph. He'd always remember you. That was one thing that always got me with Hoppy, because obviously, I'd run into him on more than a few occasions when we was uptown and everything. And I was one of them pain in the arse, but all right, Hoppy, how you doing? He'd never turn around and tell you to piss off. He'd always sort of like have time for you. But I'll just quickly tell you a quick Hoppy story though. Do you remember when we played Southampton last match of the season and we won to stay up? There was him and Mick Hartford nearly scored. Was scrapping and we scored the winning goal. Stopped up, absolutely brilliant. So never made it back on the Saturday night. And long story, ended up in the Isle of Wight. Cut a short story long. So got back to Birmingham on Sunday, 7:00. Went into the bar St Martin, and who's there? But Hoppy and Mick Halsall having a drink. So straight over to him. Oh, all right, fucking brilliant that was yesterday. And just saying, look, it's what Blues is all about. We scrap. And as long as you beat the Villa, us as fans, we don't give a shit about anything else. Beat the Villa twice and put the effort in. That's all we're after. And Halsall turned around and it's sort of like had a little go at me. He says, well, that's no good. He says, you need more ambition than that, don't you? And Hoppy's turned around to Halsall. Who the fuck do you think you're talking to? You don't talk to Blues fans like that. And the pair of them was nearly having to square up with each other.
That's Robert.
But that was Hoppy. I may have been talking bollocks. Well, it wouldn't be the first time. It won't be the last. But he's just one of us, isn't he? He understand. He understood where he was going, and there's people there yesterday. It was lovely that they'd made that little banner there. People all joining in, singing the Hoppy. There's something planned as a balloon release, isn't there? Next.
Yeah. The girls was telling me that the other night outside the main stand about 2:00. It's going to be before the Stoke match.
I was wondering actually what the Swansea fans thought was going on with the
Yeah,
II.
yeah.
They must have thought, who's this Hoppy? Like, you know.
Well, yeah, yeah. I'll give you a quick one. Years ago, Uppy used to always give me. They used to get a couple of away tickets, and I used to get down there, and I have to go down the players' entrance to the away ground, and he'd come out and give me a ticket, you know. So I was there the one match. I forget where it was, but he says to me, he said, "Have you got your car with you, Sean?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Will you meet me by the bus after the game?" I says, "Yeah." So I've gone by the bus. He's gone to Gon Saunders. He says, "Ron," he says, "we've had an emergency at home." He says, "This is Sean, my cousin." He says, "He's got his car." He said, "I'll need to get back as soon as possible. So I'm going to jump in the car with him and get back to this emergency back at home." And Gon Saunders just says, "Get on the bus, Robert."
Well,
Get on the
Fair play
bus.
to him.
yeah, of course,
But
that the whole thing with Hoppy and the famous Martin Call incident, Steve,
oh
was
yeah,
yeah our pre-season tour. I mean, this was when we hadn't got a pot to piss in.
it's
Flipping
a good
John Bon,
story. This.
and so that none of this flipping going to the Algarve or flipping thing. Our pre-season tour was Weymouth, Bournemouth, Yeovil, and Bideford. So, so the after we beat Bournemouth, the players had Sunday still in Bournemouth. I mean, walked in this bar and they're all sat down there, and of course, sort of like there was factions in that team. There was the lads, of which obviously you got Hopper, you got Julian Dix, you got well, Wayne Clark was still there, Andy Kennedy, Vince Overson had just signed. And then you got the sensible people like your Nicky Platinas, your Des Bremner, and whatever. And there was definitely sort of like a fraction. But Fred Davis was in charge of that team because John Bond couldn't be asked to come on a pre-season tour of Weymouth, Yeovil, Bideford, and fucking Bournemouth. So after the Yeovil game, when we've uh, held them to a 0-0 draw, um, there's about three of us was stuck to get to Bideford. So one of my mates turns around to Hoppy, says, "Any chance we can have a lift in with the team to get to Bideford?" "Yeah, all right, no problem." So three of us got on the bus. So there at the back, you've got the one section. You've got Fred Davis down the front of the coach with flipping Platina and Bremner talking about golf and stuff. And at the back of the bus, they've got a crate of beer. And so we're having a drink. And all of a sudden, Martin Calls had one over his allowance of two bottles. And he starts giving it Billy big bollocks, doesn't he? He's like, why do you lot always fucking love Hoppy? He says, you idolise that cunt. I'm the hardest bloke on the bus and everything. And threw one of the bottles down the front of the bus. And all of a sudden, that's it. Flipping the bus, they pull the flipping anchors on the bus. Flipping Fred Davies comes storming up the back. "Who threw that fucking bottle down the bus?" All of a sudden, like, Cool shitting himself, flipping nudging me, saying, say it's you, say it's you. So I had to flipping take the rap for him throwing a fucking bottle down the front of the bus at Fred Davies. And they was going to throw us out in the middle of flipping nowhere. Thankfully, flipping, they managed to calm everything down and get us to Bideford.
I love that story about Martin Call shit.
We used to call him All Call. We used to drink with him all the time, and the what's it? I fucking hate him. I fucking hate him. I fucking hate him. All Call. That's what he's known as.
Yeah. But lo and behold, the flipping. But the next game after we managed to beat Bideford, Hoppy actually got took off at half time because he was going to get sent off for flipping scrapping with their fullback. So we're in the players' lounge afterwards, and all the players are in there, and there's Martin Cool with the fucking black eye. I didn't ask how he got it, sort of thing.
Fred Davis. It's nice to like recall happy stories, isn't it?
Yeah.
And of course, we went to school with him, didn't we, Sean?
Yeah. Well, I didn't get to that school. I only lived around the corner as you did at that time. And
Where did you live? Tavistock.
I remember him growing up.
Did you live in Tavistock?
Big Albert and Andy Brown and all them. We used to always knock about together,
Did you live in Tavistock Grove?
No, I lived in Greenwood Avenue.
Oh, Greenwood Avenue, yeah.
Down the posh end.
Yeah, that's posh end, yeah.
But, just connected with people on so many levels, didn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, but for those of us who didn't have no skill, sort of thing, he was us playing for Blues, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Carried the banner.
He was, yours. I'd run through a brick wall for Blues. Well, he did. He didn't get as much credit for the ability that he had football-wise as well, because he was more than just a loose cannon who'd run through the ball. He could play football.
Yeah, don't forget, he played for Man City, he played for Blues, he played for Albion. And I know, like, he played here and there as well. But, he played top-level football, and fair play to him, one of us, and he'll be sadly missed amongst the Blues fans. Of course he will. And
I used to say, to shut him up, I used to say to him, I'll just remind these lads now about your handspring when you scored for Albion in front of the Tilton. Now about that, Rob. Shut your fucking mouth and go, shut your mouth. He scored for the Albion and done a handspring in front of the Tilton.
Oh, doing his flipping remember that.
But so just getting back on track a little bit. We've got Sheffield Wednesday on Tuesday. It's a bit confusing, isn't it? So what are our thoughts about that? I think John Solis probably will be playing. Like I said, we could possibly have a new striker in, just possibly. It'd be exciting, wouldn't it, to see Solis in action?
Yeah, if they get a striker in, as you say, by next year, he won't be registered to play, will he, for that game?
Could be. He could go through today, couldn't it?
Okay.
So it could have a slim chance of happening, but either way, this is a game we've got to look at 3 points, haven't we? They struggled yesterday. They lost 1-0 at home to someone, I can't remember who it was, but they're having a bad run of great games. Now we've lost 1 in 7.
Yeah,
it's mad, that, isn't it?
Yeah,
considering crisis
getting slaughtered.
Yeah, but we've drawn 4 of those.
But if you're talking about we're going to get a new striker and he's not available for, if it's done, it'll give the people who's playing a kick up the arse, and they'll be willing to say, well, I'm not going to give my place up, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and this person, I'm thinking that it might be, isn't, he's not a British player, so it'll be interesting. But it's a game we've got to look at 3 points. If we get 4 points out of Swansea and Sheffield Wednesday away, and then we have Stoke at home, we should be looking at getting 7 points from 3 games there, shouldn't
we? Yeah.
It's one of them things, though, Steve. That famous saying, "Typical Blues." And Fred,
don't say it.
Fred Davis, Chris Davis, sort of like said a little bit about it. Like, we'll have to earn the right for anything that we get up there. It's not a give me, and we're taking a great following up there. I just hope that people aren't expecting us just to turn up and walk all over them. There's we've got to scrap. We've got to play with the right attitude and hope that our ability will take care of business. But we've got to earn the right to it.
Does Bannon still play for them?
Yeah, I was just about to say, I'm hoping to see Barry Solis. Bannon.
He's some player, that Barry Bannon.
He's a lovely little footballer, isn't he? As much as I can't stand him.
Yeah, some player.
He's leaving, isn't he?
I don't know.
He must be getting on now, though, mustn't he?
There's talk of him he's going now, Bannon. Obviously, what better way for him to say his farewells than playing against the team that he fucking hates? But what a better way to send him off from Sheffield, dripping with getting a good kick in.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I don't feel sorry for Sheffield Wednesday. I think all of us do. They've had an absolute shit time of things, haven't they? But we were there not long ago, and it's just the way football is now, isn't it?
Yeah, they've had 2-point deductions, haven't they? Not
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as a gimme in football. That's all I'm saying is, and that we've got to be on it.
They do look poor though. They
Yeah,
lost at home to Portsmouth yesterday, and really, we've
But
got to look
if the heart's gone out of them, Steve, that make them look even poorer, won't it?
Yeah, the more you lose, and then like the supporters aren't going to be right on it, are they? So hopefully we can go there and come back with something. Fingers crossed. I think we've done our little hour and a bit at the moment. Sean, it's been
yeah.
absolutely great having you on with us, son, because I ain't seen you for a while. You're looking well.
Yeah. Well, get in there. I'm
It's
just
nice
trying
to
to
have
think.
you. And Clive, when you're having your operation,
It's on Friday morning. I got a bit of QE for 7 o'clock in the morning.
all right. Well, good luck with that, and let us know how it goes.
Yeah, well,
I don't.
it's only a small operation. It shouldn't be any longer than 2 hours, you don't think, in my consultant.
Will you be with us on Sunday morning?
Fuck me, I hope I wake up from the operation. Yes, I do.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I didn't mean you will you with us. I meant will you be with us?
We'll get even the double up with that, mate.
He said to me, the consultant, I asked him, I'll be awake for the operation rather than go to sleep. He said, I could do this. He said, when you wake, but I prefer you to be quiet and sleep.
Yeah, I know what he means. But I don't want to be sitting there next Sunday going, "Oh, he's a good lad, Clive." When do you remember when he used to have his cans of beer and get his teeth out and all that?
No, you'll be here, mate. You'll be here.
Thus he will. I feel bad now. You hadn't better now because you make me feel really bad if anything happens to you.
Well, I'll come back and haunt you, see.
Oh, don't fucking say that. I'm scared of ghosts,
I'll be
especially
messing
ones with no
around.
choppers.
I'll be messing around with your computer, mate, from up there.
He does enough damage to that on his own, I think.
I've got this one sitting here now, mate, right next to me. This bastard. Listen, Sean, thank you. Clive, thank you, mate. Pete, nice one, son. You go to Sheffield, mate.
I am, yes. Looking forward to it, yeah. And I'll try and bump into Clive on Friday because I'm in work about 7. Well, if I don't, I'll just listen out for him.
Where do you work, Pete? Where are you, boy?
I'm at the QA. I'm working the microbiology. I'm in the laboratories. So I've seen all your bits and bobs that they send down to us.
Oh, yeah, because I had a big problem with it. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think for the night you're going to keep me in the theatre area. They said stay the night, so I said okay. But I don't think I'll be going to the ward. I'll be stopping where I do the operations.
Yeah. I mean, I can find out where you are anyway. I'll bring you a bottle of cider, help you recover him.
Yeah. Nice thing to wake up to, eh?
Yeah.
Dave, you've just come back on to say goodbye.
I've been here all the time. I can't get a word in edgeways, can I?
No, I couldn't see you on the screen. But
I've just been
listen,
I'm
doing
listening
a live tomorrow on Facebook about 1 o'clock UK time. That'll be absolutely good. Everyone else, thanks so much for listening because you know what it's like.
Steve, just out of interest again, I don't know whether the others experience it, but sometimes you were breaking up a little bit in your speech.
Yeah.
Okay, I turned the volume down on the mic actually last week, and I thought it got a little bit better. I'll turn it down a bit more. I think it's just mic volume. I hope.
It hasn't been too bad as far as I'm concerned, to tell the truth. I haven't really noticed.
Sometimes it just the sound just crackles a little bit.
Okay.
It's maybe just a little loss of signal, but otherwise,
Yeah.
It might be a little bit close. All right. So, guys,
Goodbye, all. Good to speak.
Say again,
Enjoyed this morning.
so much.
Good
And everyone
luck-
else
good
for
luck,
tuning in
Clive.
and watching us and
Thank
listening
you.
to the shite that we talk. Thank you very much. Sean, bang on, son. Clive, happy operation. Dave, look after yourself. Pete, up the blue, so have a nice night at Sheffield.
and
See
for
you
once,
guys.
it wasn't. For once, it wasn't me talking shit because I didn't speak at all.
And
And
There you
I
go.
combed my hair as well.
Oh, well done. Well done. See you,
Take
lads.
care, lads. Bye.
Bye.
Cheers.